Auf dem neuen Album hat es ja einen...
Gibt es einen Song, der heißt Red Bull?
Ja, trinke so ungesundes Zeugs nicht.
Genau, aber es hat einen Song drauf, der heißt Punk und Pomerol. Pomerol, französischer Rotwein aus dem Bordeaux.
Bin jetzt gespannt, wie es weitergeht.
Ja, ich wurde so oft schon gefragt, ja, was kann man dir denn als Geschenk mitbringen?
Die findet ihr nicht normal in Laden.
Aber ist auf jeden Fall ein Wein, den ich euch empfehlen kann, wenn ihr dieses Album genießt, weil wenn schon auf einem neuen Album ein Wein explizit benannt ist, dann hat es natürlich auch so seinen Grund. Also wenn ihr euch eine schöne Flasche kauft, wir haben keine im Angebot leider, aber wir haben das Album im Angebot und dann könnt ihr mit einem schönen Rotwein dann dieses Album genießen.
Aber warum suchen wir uns nicht einen Winzer, der genau den Wein macht, den du so gut findest und veröffentlichen den als Lacrimosa-Wein?
Das ist halt schwierig. Also gerade Pomerol ist halt wirklich nur dieses mini kleine Anbaugebiet im Bordeaux. Und die brauchen, glaube ich, nicht wirklich, also die haben halt nicht so viele Trauben zur Verfügung dort, klar, weil es ein kleines Anbaugebiet ist. Deswegen sind die auch relativ hochpreisig.
Was kostet so eine Flasche?
Also mein Lieblings Pomerol kostet in der Schweiz 35 Franken, das sind 38, 39 Euro. Aber die gehen rauf, also ganz normal, also es muss jetzt gar nicht mal Vintage sein, die gehen teilweise rauf auf über 100. Also es ist wirklich, ja, es ist leider scheiß teuer.
Das könnte man sich nicht jeden.
Ja, eben, das ist halt, deswegen, das ist dann halt für sowas Besonderes. Nee, das ist halt wirklich, das ist halt für besondere Abende. Aber ich finde halt einfach, hier und da ist es ja schön, wenn man, wenn man einfach auch genießt. Also meine ganze Freude für die Musik kommt ja aus dem Genießen heraus, weil ich einfach Musik liebe und da zu sitzen und ein schönes Gitarrensolo zu hören, das ist Genuss pur und so liebe ich es zu essen, so liebe ich es zu trinken, einfach das Leben genießen, das ist doch, ja, und ich hoffe, das neue Album wird dazu beitragen. Ich meine, das heißt Lament. Ich wurde jetzt auch schon viel gefragt, ja, Lament, das ist doch Klagelied, das ist doch traurig, das ist doch furchtbar. Es gibt eine alte Tradition, in der man sein Herz öffnet und in der man seine Gefühle mit anderen teilt, in der man auch ganz unverblümt sagt, es geht dabei nicht um weinerlich zu sein und es geht dabei nicht um angefasst oder es ist nicht diese Kultur, dass ständig angepisst zu sein oder ständig das Gefühl zu haben, dass man übervorteilt wird oder dass man schlecht behandelt wird, sondern es geht einfach darum, das Innere nach außen zu stülpen sozusagen. Dass man sagt, ich kehre meine Persönlichkeit, das was mich ausmacht, das was mich bewegt, kehre ich nicht unter den Teppich, ich verstecke das auch nirgends, sondern ich kann es auch mal rausschreien, das befreien, ich kann das auch mal teilen mit anderen. Und darum geht es mir hierbei. Also es ist kein Weinen, das ist kein immer nur ich und scheiße, Leben ist doof. Darum geht es überhaupt nicht. Deswegen habe ich das gerade mit dem Genießen gesagt. Sondern es geht darum, zuzulassen, was man empfindet. Und sich über die Kraft der Emotion zu freuen.
Und ich finde, auf der anderen Seite ist es ja auch was Schönes, wenn man mal was Trauriges hört. Also zum Beispiel, ich weiß nicht, wie viele von den Zuschauern das Album Disintegration von The Cure kennen. Das ist so mein Paradebeispiel. Allein der erste Song, der gar keinen Refrain hat, darin könnte ich in Tränen zerschmelzen. Das ist wunderschön.
Ja.
Also ich finde, ich kann dem auch was abgewinnen, der Melancholie.
Total, ja. Total. Gerade gutes Beispiel, das du genannt hast. Also The Cure sowieso, oder auch zum Beispiel hier Pornography von The Cure. Auch so ein Album, wenn ich das auflege und die ersten Töne, kriege ich Gänsehaut und ich will da richtig reintauchen in diese Stimmung. Das ist einfach so schön. Und das sollte Musik sein. Dafür sollte Musik da sein.
Und das ist auch, und da sind wir beim Thema, das ist eine Kunst, diese Gefühle bei jemandem hervorzurufen. Ja, also die Musik ist Kunst und das ist nicht nur hingeklatscht, sondern das bewirkt etwas in den Leuten, im Zuhörer. Also wenn es den Geschmack trifft, viele Leute sagen natürlich auch, berührt mich nicht, aber gerade jetzt The Cure oder auch eure Fans, die euch seit 35 Jahren treu sind, die wünschen sich ja genau das von euch. Die möchten ja in dem, worin ihr stark seid, versinken.
Ja, und ich glaube, die Menschen spüren auch, ob das echt ist oder nicht. Ich glaube, du kannst die Menschen nicht berühren, wenn du das nicht wirklich fühlst. Also wenn jetzt jemand kommen würde und würde versuchen, Cure nachzumachen oder Lacrimosa nachzumachen, das wird vielleicht schön klingen, aber man wird spüren, man könnte eben nicht so reintauchen. Ja.
So, wir sind wieder Bestellungen reingekommen und wir haben alle signiert. Aber keine Schmuddelautogramme, ne?
Nein, nein.
Würden wir doch nie tun. Achso, so viele.
Tilo, why would you sign? I read on Wikipedia that you are a Swiss German. What does that mean? You live in Switzerland, but you were born in Germany?
Yeah, first of all, I gotta tell that many things that are written on Wikipedia are simply not true. There's a funny story. There were some mistakes on Wikipedia, so we, from our record label, changed it. And then we got a notification that we violently destroyed the Lacrimosa site. And we were like, no, we are just writing the facts because there are wrong things. No, we are not allowed to do that. The people who are writing the articles only can do. I said, yeah, but they're writing wrong things. Yeah, we don't care. They are doing the page. So it's Wikipedia is a strange logic. So people who have no idea just read some articles or got their information from somewhere are allowed to write there, and even though if it's wrong, and I say it's wrong, you can't do anything against it because they are writing the article. So it's really like we want fake news because when somebody comes who knows the truth, he is not allowed to tell the truth. It's totally weird. So there are many things on Facebook which are not correct.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Also on Facebook. That's right.
It's social media, of course. There are many wrong things. But it's just so sad with Wikipedia because when you give them the right information, and that was even funny. They were like, okay, we trust you if you can prove it by a printed article in a magazine.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the? You are a digital platform and you want the proof from a printed, old-fashioned...
I can tell you why. Because to come up with an article on a website, that's so easy to do, to fake. A printed article in a magazine that has a minimum of, I don't know, 20,000, 50,000 issues per release, that's not easy to fake. So that's why they demand such a proof, which is not so easy to fake. If it's good or bad, I don't want to judge about that, but that's the answer to the question why.
Well, but I would say those journalists who are writing the article in the magazine, they are getting their information from Wikipedia.
That's right.
Yeah, well, but we came to Wikipedia because you were asking me about where I come from. Yes, I was born in Germany, in Frankfurt am Main, and I live partly in Switzerland. I have a Swiss passport and a German passport.
So, if I may ask, your parents are Swiss?
No, my parents are, one is from Baden-Württemberg, Stuttgart.
Which is German?
Germany, yeah. And
Stuttgart as well?
Exactly, yeah. So we are partly from the same...
brothers.
And my mom was from Frankfurt. But, yeah. But nowadays I have those two passports, which is a funny thing, because in the Corona time, when I was living in Switzerland permanently that time, only Germans were allowed to cross the border to Germany. So I could drive over to Germany, and all my friends in Switzerland, they couldn't go to Germany, and I was driving to the border and was holding out of the window only a little open, like my German passport, and they were like, yes. And all the Swiss people who tried also with their Swiss passport, no, have to go back. It's totally weird. So, but they thought it's good to have the German passport.
And so you're not Swiss born.
No.
And why did you become a Swiss
Citizen?
inhabitant?
Because when you don't have the passport, you have nearly no rights.
But I thought it's almost impossible to become a Swiss.
It's difficult, yes. Yeah.
For how long you're living there?
It's like...
It's been changing a few times.
Yeah, but also a bit, 35 years also about this time. Yeah. And then I was moving a bit around in Switzerland, which made it even more difficult to get a Swiss passport, because you need to be in one city, or let's say canton, it's in Germany, it's Bundesland. You have to be there for quite a long time to even have the chance to ask for a Swiss passport. So it made it a bit complicated. But it's important because you don't have, like in Switzerland, you don't have the rights, like for example, when you are in Germany, without a German pass, you have many rights. This is not the case in Switzerland. So therefore you need to have, if you want to be there, you need to have a passport.
Why did you go to Switzerland at all?
Actually, many reasons. Part of my family went there, and I fell in love with the country, because you have like you have the mountains, you have the lakes, you have beautiful forests, you have great streets. I love to drive the car,
but not so fast.
I don't need to drive so fast, and then I can go to Germany. I mean. But it's really beautiful. Now many people say, well, it's because of the taxes. No, there are different Bundesländer, different Kantone in Switzerland, and where I live, I pay more taxes than just across the border in Germany. So if I would like to save taxes, I would need to move to southern Germany because they pay less. Mm-hmm. So it's not about that, just to make that clear. No, but it's also about what I said before, to enjoy life. And okay, I need to admit, I don't go eating much in Switzerland. It's too expensive. You can't go to a restaurant. Like when I'm here in Hamburg, it's always wonderful. I go to one restaurant after the other. It's impossible in Switzerland. You can't pay it. It's insane. Yeah, those are the negative things. Yeah. But therefore, I'm also many times in Germany. So
as you can see, we're still signing. There are orders coming. The last is from USA, the beautiful sunny California.
Wow. Nee, wir können vielleicht auch das gerade noch mal kurz auf Deutsch sagen. Wir hatten es gerade über meine Nationalität oder Nationalitäten. Also geboren wurde ich in Deutschland, in Frankfurt am Main. Habe aber inzwischen beide Pässe, also habe einen deutschen Pass, den gebe ich auch nicht her. Habe aber auch einen Schweizer Pass. Bei Wikipedia wird er eben, manchmal werde ich als Schweizer bezeichnet, manchmal als Deutscher. Ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, für mich spielt es gar nicht so eine ganz große Rolle, weil ich grundsätzlich ein großer Freund der europäischen Idee bin. Und nicht so wahnsinnig viel Wert auf Nationalität gebe, aber ich finde Kulturen toll. Also ich finde es schrecklich zu sehen, wenn ein Land seine Kultur aufgibt. Aber ich bin auch kein Fan von Menschen, die jetzt, was weiß ich, so einen Nationalstolz an den Tag legen, um ihr Selbstwertgefühl damit zu stärken. Aber es ist einfach schön, wenn ein Land, wenn ein Volk, wenn Menschen eine Kultur haben oder Teile. Es gibt ja auch verschiedene Kulturen. In Deutschland zum Beispiel haben wir so viele verschiedene Kulturen. In der Schweiz haben wir auch ganz viele verschiedene Kulturen. Wenn du in die Innerschweiz gehst, in die Berge, die verstehen uns Städter nicht. Und umgekehrt, das ist einfach ganz geil. Und das finde ich total spannend. Und ich finde es toll, wenn die Menschen zusammenkommen und ihre Erfahrungen austauschen. Und das ist auch mit ein Grund, warum ich es so schön finde, in den beiden Ländern zu Hause zu sein. In der Schweiz bin ich zwar immer der Deutsche und in Deutschland bin ich immer der Schweizer. Aber ich weiß ja, wer ich bin und ich freue mich einfach, ja, in beiden Ländern Schönes zu erleben. Ich habe gerade erzählt gehabt, eben in Deutschland gehe ich wahnsinnig gerne in Restaurants, weil das ist in der Schweiz nicht bezahlbar. Das ist furchtbar. Wenn ich in der Schweiz bin, kann ich nicht in ein Restaurant gehen. So hat alles seine Vorteile. Und dafür habe ich in der Schweiz halt, sind die Distanzen kleiner. Das macht es natürlich auch spannend. Also das ist einfach schön, so dieser kulturelle Austausch und beides erleben zu können und sich nicht so auf mit dem ganzen Ich-Bewusstsein, mit dem ganzen Selbstbewusstsein an etwas zu klammern. Es ist ja schön, wenn man seine Wurzeln hat, wenn man weiß, wo man herkommt, was für eine Kultur man in sich trägt und wenn man das dann mit anderen Menschen teilen kann.
Und jetzt haben wir ja, now we heard a lot about Thilo and where he lives and how it came, but I want to know about Anne. You live in Switzerland as well, is that correct?
Yeah, it is correct. But I was born in Finland.
In Tampere.
Tampere, yeah, very good.
And when did you move to Switzerland?
94.
94. So when you joined the band?
Yeah.
Around,
More or less,
that,
yeah.
It was around the time.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't be able to come to each show or rehearsals from Finland. It was much too far away.
Yeah.
There was
no EasyJet.
Yeah.
Oh, you are right.
Yeah, we got
the first flights. They were so expensive.
Exactly. And that was the reason, because it was impossible to keep up a band together. If it would have been Berlin or whatever, or even another city in Europe like Barcelona, would have been not such a big problem. Even though, as you said, there was no EasyJet, but still possibilities, trains and stuff were much easier than to Finland. Mm-hmm. To travel to Finland is still taking about a day or even more.
Depends on where. If you go to Lapland, it takes a long time. But I mean, my parents are still living there, so I go from once, I don't know what year I tried. But I mean, Switzerland's a beautiful place to live.
Mm-hmm. And when you arrived in Switzerland, because it's a different, I've been to Finland, so I can say it's a different mentality.
It is.
Swiss mentality is also a bit different from German.
It is.
How did it feel for you?
I wouldn't. At least I couldn't really understand the language in the beginning. I had been taking...
Now you speak a bit German?
Ja, natürlich rede ich Deutsch.
Nee, damals.
Jetzt natürlich. Damals war ich nur in der Schule.
So you learned English, German in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for 1.5 years only. So it was a bit kind of a difficult start, because in Germany, if you want to buy like a normal bread or Brötchen, wie man hier sagt, it's in Swiss German. Brötchen are called Mumpfli, Bürli. you just can't know it, and they didn't understand what I mean. So, but now it's fine. You get used to anything.
And how far do you live away from each other?
It's not so far, so we can come to sessions every time doing composing, and it's working fine.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. If you want to have the new vinyl, Lament, and or the new CD, or any other merchandise, you can order it at Lacrimosa at lacrimosa.hamburgrecords.com. And Thilo and Anne will sign it for you.
Yeah.
Hier sind übrigens noch welche. Achso, diese Schuhe noch.
Yeah.
Here's the question, someone asks, auf Deutsch, wird es dieses Mal auch eine Zusammenarbeit mit Raining Phoenix geben oder gibt es das Vinyl nur in schwarz? Ich glaube, beim letzten Mal ging es da um den Backkatalog, den ihr lizenziert habt. Das ist jetzt wieder auf dem hauseigenen Label erschienen, Lament. Insofern gibt es da gar keinen Bedarf, ist das richtig? Oder?
Genau, also es wird im Moment ist keine Zusammenarbeit geplant. Das kam übrigens mit Raining Phoenix damals so, dass Markus Steiger, der Nuclear Blast gegründet hat, ist ein, ja, man kann sagen, ein Freund. Alter, wir kennen uns ewig schon. Also als er mit Nuclear Blast angefangen hat, kurz danach habe ich ihn kennengelernt. Von ihm habe ich viel gelernt auch damals. Und wir hatten dann verschiedene Kooperationen gemacht. Unter anderem die erste wirkliche Kooperation war Fassade, die teils bei Nuclear Blast erschienen ist. Und teils, also da hatten wir so eine Koop zwischen unseren beiden Labels gemacht gehabt. Ja, und dann viele Jahre eng mit ihnen zusammengearbeitet, viele tolle Menschen bei Nuclear Blast kennengelernt. Und dann aber irgendwann so ein bisschen, sie sind dann immer größer geworden. Dann hat irgendwann halt Markus auch die Company verkauft und dann habe ich mich ein bisschen, ja. Dann hat Markus eine neue Company aufgemacht, Atomic Fire. Und hat mich angerufen und gesagt, wollen wir nicht mal wieder was zusammen machen. Und so kam dann die Zusammenarbeit mit, oder für den Vorgänger hier, für Leidenschaft, zustande. Und dann hat aber Markus gesagt, so, okay, jetzt habe ich mir nochmal einen Traum erfüllt. Ich habe jetzt nochmal ein neues Label gegründet, ich ziehe mich jetzt aber trotzdem zurück. Und dann ist Atomic Fire mehr oder weniger in dem neuen Label eben Phoenix aufgegangen. Und da hatte ich mich dann wieder so ein bisschen zurückgezogen. Und jetzt im Moment ist gerade nichts geplant, aber vielleicht kommt da wieder was. Wie gesagt, ich hatte jetzt im Moment halt auch einfach keine Zeit, mich um weiteres zu kümmern. Wir machen vielleicht noch weiter, es wird vielleicht noch andere Editionen geben, aber im Moment weiß ich es nicht, weil ich wirklich jetzt halt alle Hände damit zu tun hatte, diese beiden Versionen, die CD und die LP, an den Start zu bringen. Wie gesagt, ich sehe es heute Abend zum ersten Mal selber. Jetzt sind wir dann unterwegs. Danach bereiten wir uns vor auf die große Tournee.
Also ich habe das richtig verstanden. Du hast die Platte vorher noch gar nicht fertig gesehen, jetzt gerade heute Abend zum allerersten Mal.
Genau,
Ja,
also
für
diese.
uns beide, genau.
Genau, also die wieder mit. Die beiden, beiden eben Vinyl und CD, unser neues Album, sehen wir heute Abend, das wir jetzt gerade für euch sein, sehen wir heute Abend selbst zum allerersten Mal. Und da wir auch relativ spät, bevor der Livestream hier losging, erst hier angekommen sind, eben weil wir noch am Proben sind und technische Probleme und so weiter, hatten wir jetzt auch nicht Zeit, uns vorher noch richtig hinzusetzen. Ich wusste also nicht, hat alles geklappt, ist der Druck richtig und so weiter. Deswegen bin ich die ganze Zeit ein bisschen am Gucken. Sieht alles gut aus, was ich bis jetzt gesehen habe. Aber also heute Abend werde ich mich dann noch hinsetzen und dann alles genau durchgucken. Und das ist Wahnsinn, halt nach so einer langen Zeit, wo wir Arbeit hier reingesteckt haben, das jetzt hier heute Abend zum ersten Mal zu sehen und gleich schon zu unterschreiben für euch. Und dann geht es gleich raus. Ich habe noch keine zu Hause bei mir.
I just heard a nice signature which I'll do for a girl or woman too. He wants to ask if she wants to marry him.
Oh.
I don't tell who, otherwise it would be a spoiling. But that's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Ja, und was du gerade gesagt hast über die Platte und die Zusammenarbeit mit Raining Phoenix, also dafür braucht es keinen Partner. Ihr selber könnt auch farbige oder Splatter Vinyl pressen lassen. Das ist kein Alleinstellungsmerkmal von Raining Phoenix.
Nee. Ich habe die jetzt nur hier erstmal schwarz gemacht, weil ich bin erstmal, was das anbelangt, so ein bisschen Traditionalist. Eine LP ist schwarz. Außerdem ist ja hier alles schwarz. Also wie gesagt, auch innen drin haben wir die Sleeves sind innen drin schwarz bedruckt. Ich brauche erstmal eine schwarze Vinyl. Ob wir dann noch andere Farben anbieten, später, eventuell, wenn die erste Auflage ausverkauft ist, mal schauen. Aber erstmal kommt schwarzes Vinyl. Meine allererste Platte, also es gab ja dieses Glamour-Tape, die Kassette, weil ich mir eine LP nicht leisten konnte. Aber das allererste, was ich dann gemacht habe, war tatsächlich eine LP, auch schwarzes Vinyl. Und die CD von Angst kam erst ein Jahr später, weil ich erst dann mir die CD noch leisten konnte,
Das
die
war auch
zu
teuer
herstellen.
damals.
Ja, das
CD.
war so teuer, genau, ja. Und ich habe halt einfach erstmal LP gemacht, weil so eine schwarze Vinyl in den Händen zu halten, ist halt für mich immer das Größte. Und inzwischen, hat ein bisschen gedauert, aber inzwischen liebe ich auch CDs. Was heißt inzwischen? Also seit vielen, vielen Jahren natürlich. Wir haben ja eine Zeit lang dann auch nur CDs gemacht, weil ich wirklich das Medium irgendwann richtig toll fand. Ich habe eine riesige CD-Sammlung inzwischen zu Hause. Aber jetzt, wo ich die Möglichkeit hatte, zusätzlich auch eine LP zu machen, ich glaube sogar, dass zum allerersten Mal das Hall of Sermon zeitgleich LP und CD rausbringt. Weil entweder eben haben wir ganz früher erst die LP rausgebracht und dann die CD, oder eben nur die CD und dann die LP in Koop mit anderen Labels, weil es ist halt einfach wahnsinnig teuer. Und Hall of Sermon ist ein kleines Label, und da einfach mal so eine Produktion zu stemmen, das ist halt schon recht heftig. Und deswegen freue ich mich einfach wahnsinnig, dass das jetzt so geklappt hat. Ah, ja.
What was your first?
Ja, aber hier. Das
You
sieht
said
man
you said you're doing you were CD was something special for you in the beginning. What was your first CD that you ever bought yourself?
That was Pink Floyd's The Final Cut. And
When did you buy it?
right when it came out, 83.
You had a CD player in '83.
LP was it? Sorry, you asked CD?
CD.
Ah, CD, okay, sorry. The first CD was The Mission, Carved in Sand.
And when did you buy it?
92, I think. Yeah.
So only then you had a CD player? Not
Then-
before?
No, not before, no.
And you?
Oh gosh. It must have been something from The Cure. The first CDs I ever saw. Because I didn't have a CD player in Finland so early. So I was always traveling to London to buy LPs in the beginning. And but I think I bought the Cure CD, the first ones there.
And LP?
Oh, there was something like Susie and the Banshees, for sure.
Did you never listen to anything else, music-wise? I mean, starting with, I don't know.
Beatles.
Less people starting with the Beatles and then drifting
Yeah,
off to...
I had a music cassette from the Beatles. That was the first thing I ever was interested in listening to music. But I mean, I love music, all kinds of music. There is no limitation to what I really like to listen to.
Yeah.
Just nowadays, anyway.
Yeah,
There's a
but
wide spectrum.
Back then, you were
Yeah.
either a fan of this music or this.
No, yeah, well, in Finland we were more open-minded, so
Oh, okay.
we could. I mean, Tilo has been telling me stories that you had it very hard in Germany, what you were able to listen, and in Switzerland even more. But we in Finland, we were totally free. We were like listening to Depeche Mode and ABBA, yeah, sure, everything. We could dance to it, and in the clubs it was playing punk and Depeche Mode and everything together, and we were living mostly in harmony with each other. So I had no limitations to what I hear.
Here it was different.
It was totally different.
I mean, not even punk and metal fans could be
No.
go to the same concert.
Absolutely. I remember I was pretty hardcore goth, and I couldn't admit to my other hardcore goth fans that I was listening to Depeche Mode, because Depeche Mode was pop music for them. And
Oh, really?
yeah, absolutely.
I thought they have because they have how do you say, a common root, a common vibe in a way, especially Depeche Mode, which is darker. In a lot of the 80s albums are dark, not very dark, but dark. Some Great Reward and even 96, what's it called?
Music for
Black Celebration.
Ah, Black Celebration 96,
There's
yeah.
super dark
96.
stuff
Yeah.
on it. So
Absolutely,
vibe-wise, they have something in common.
Sure.
Not in Switzerland.
Principally, yes, but still, I mean, they were so far out because they were played on a radio. It was too much. It was mainstream for the hardcore goth, which we were. We were only listening to music which absolutely nobody knows. I mean, when I say I was hardcore goth, I was really hardcore goth. So it was really for us, or actually for the group of people, Depeche Mode was really like pop music. Even though, of course, we knew it's kind of the same roots. It's also alternative. But still, it was too far out. And then I went even further. I was listening to Guns N' Roses, and I couldn't tell that too. And then I remember in a club, I went to the DJ and said, in a goth evening, I said, please play Guns N' Roses. And he was like, what the fuck? You want the other guys to beat you up? I said, like, try it. And then I was the only one at the dance floor, of course. And I was also like, this.
And how did you dance that time?
You don't want to know.
Because I heard stories that you even had a special dance which everybody needed to dance. You did the same moves. I can't show them now, but
You mean like him?
all the goths.
Yeah, but going forward, bending over, and
Yeah.
2 steps back.
Yeah, we didn't have those.
That's very common.
It's quite limiting. We could even dance how we want. You should have been coming to Finland
Yeah.
to have some better parties.
But I mean, this is the funny thing also with musically wise, because when we did Chakal, that was the combination I wanted. When I was listening to, as I said, Guns N' Roses, I liked that because it was straight, it was metal, but it didn't have the emotion the emotional impact that I was knowing from goth music. And when I was listening to goth music, it wasn't hard enough, it was too soft, and I wanted to combine that.
How about industrial? Did industrial music, did it match with the goth as did it match with the goth or didn't? Because vibe-wise, it's the same direction. It's dark. It's never happy, but with different instruments. So it's harder. Maybe it's that what you were looking for. Did the scene back then the hardcore goth? Did they accept? They did not accept Depeche Mode, but did they accept industrial bands?
A bit more than Depeche Mode, definitely, but still only accept. Didn't really listen to it, but I accepted more because it was more hard. So more extreme is better.
And all of them were unknown.
Most of them. I mean, Ministry, for example. There was a band which became then big, which was also a reason why nobody then listened to it anymore when it became too big. But it was more accepted because it was more extreme.
And what they also had in common was a lot of, or some parts of the goth scene used drum machines, and so did Ministry.
Absolutely. I mean, that was alright because Sisters of Mercy did it. So
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that was alright, even though I think 90% of the people didn't know that it's a drum machine. They just listened to Sisters of Mercy because it was fucking great music, and only.
But they were played on the radio as well.
Later. But that time, 80, 85, 86...
when was Temple of Love?
Temple of Love was 83, I think, the first issue. 83 or 84.
The one with Ofra Hasa was the most successful.
And that was later. That was coming out 89 or even in the 90s. I think it came even out after Version Thing. I think there was... The version with Ofra Hasa, I think it was... plus minus the 90s. It was around the Vision Thing time, and that was, of course, their sisters were also on TV. I remember a TV show where Andre Eldridge was performing, but that was much later. But the original version from Temple of Love, 83 or 84, I think, that wasn't played on the radio, and therefore the goth could accept it.
Diana is asking, Thilo, do you like punk music like Green Day?
I love punk. I love it. But to be honest, Green Day is not my favorite
What is it?
punk band. Well, actually my favorite punk band is The Jam from the 70s. They were only existing. Paul Weller, who did solo later, he's pretty famous actually. He was founding The Jam, and The Jam only did a couple. Actually, they did only 3 real punk albums, and then they got a bit more mainstream, and then they split, and Paul Weller did his own stuff. But the first, Modern Times, and the first 3 albums from The Jam from 77 were the first 2, and 78 or 9 was the third album. They're fabulous. Yeah, bands like that I really love. And then, of course, Toy Dolls and all the fun punk is also cool. And many bands who have their roots in the kind of punk, like
Damned?
Yeah, the Damned, of course. Also bands like Bad Religion, which transformed through their time also and got more, or one of my favorite, Manic Street Preachers, fabulous band.
But they're not really punk.
They started off as a punk band, and nowadays I don't know what they are actually. They're just a fucking great band.
Last time I heard of them, and that's 2 decades ago. They were indie rock band.
Yeah, they had this #1 hit even. Yeah, but the last album they brought out 2-3 years ago. It's so beautiful, really amazing. But of course, it's not real punk anymore. But the attitude is still there. Yeah.
And Anne, you are listening to everything. You said so. Also Green Day.
Yeah, I like a lot of poppy stuff, but Green Day is also not mine. And I'm not so fond into punk like he is.
And Rob is asking, how about black metal?
No, not really.
Thilo?
I used to listen a lot to black metal in the beginning of the 90s. But I lost it a bit through the years because there was nothing new coming anymore. I still like to listen to those bands from that time and these albums, which I still have, but I didn't feel any progress in the music, so I didn't buy any new albums because, yeah, they didn't sound much different than the old ones. I had the feeling. I don't think
that's what exactly is missing, on my opinion, the feelings. I need feelings in the music, and that's quite the same in many bands, and it's too less for me.
Yeah, it's not enough just to do new songs. There need to be the music is emotion, and if it's good produced and good played, that's then even better. But you need to if you take a acoustic guitar and you play a song, and it touches your heart, then it's a good song.
That's what you're gonna hear when you come to a show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We are just doing this now. I forgot. Oh God. It's gonna happen. We play acoustic songs. Yeah, exactly. We are playing now Lacrimosa songs acoustically, or acoustic in an acoustic set. And if you go out of those evenings now in this week and you say, well, I didn't enjoy those songs, then we did something wrong. So I hope you're gonna enjoy it. But I believe it. I mean, because today, when we were playing, as I said before, when we were playing Flamme im Wind, ich wechsle mal kurz wieder aufs Deutsch, als wir heute Flamme im Wind zusammen gespielt haben, Ich hatte so eine riesen Gänsehaut. Das ist einfach schön zu erleben. Dieser Song einfach nur auf der akustischen Gitarre funktioniert so schön, dass das Gefühl kommt rüber. Ja, das ist einfach, das macht einfach glücklich. Das ist einfach schön.
We had a question, might be a Mexican, if you know any Mexican bands.
I have a beautiful CD from a Mexican band. Unfortunately, I don't recall the name of the band, but we got it as a present once when we were there. But we never really were introduced to any typical Mexican bands. But I don't recall the name. It's really great band. It's wonderful music, and they told me that time that they are also a bit inspired by Lacrimosa. That's why they gave me the CD. It's really beautiful, but unfortunately I don't recall the name.
You?
Just recall old-fashioned kind of mariachi songs like Vargas.
But that's not a
That's not a
temporary
band.
band.
Yeah, no, not really.
But have you been, of course,
We
you
didn't-
listen to everything, so also to...
Yeah, and the problem is when we are
On tour, yeah.
when we are in Mexico, we can't go to concerts to find out about bands. So
We sometimes get some CDs, but
No, but you're playing festivals. And
seldom. Actually, in Mexico, we never played a festival. We once played now a festival last year,
Hell in
but
Heaven.
Hell in Heaven, yeah. But there, there was a Finnish band playing before us, and there were Ministry, what I recall. So there, we didn't see any Mexican
And
bands.
Guns N'
playing.
Roses.
Guns N' Roses
They
was
were on
also
the lineup
playing,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, but we didn't see them because they played a night before or night after. Yeah, yeah. We saw Muse, but they're also not Mexican.
And
so
how
tell
about-
us about Mexican bands. They can recommend us something.
Yeah. Write your Mexican band recommendations into the comments. I'm just trying to think of festivals in Germany where you, because for you it's difficult to play festivals in Germany because your music is so 100% genre. Like a festival, I mean, size-wise, you're big enough to play Rock am Ring, Southside Hurricane, all these festivals, but their mainstream audience is not your audience. So it's hard for you to play festivals here.
Which is not too bad, because I like, it's okay to play on a festival, but I like to be, it's a wonderful feeling to know the people that come to the concert, they paid for this band, this very band. So the responsibility for us to make them happy is much higher than to play on a festival, where there's so many people hanging around and, oh, we watched this band, oh, I don't know, let's get some beer. And so when I, for example, go to a concert, I prepare, I listen to the albums before I go there, and I'm looking forward to it, and there's some kind of a chemistry between the audience, if it's all good, between the audience and the band. And we really prefer this, actually. It's good to play on a festival, it's nice, but we prefer our...
But that when I was a kid, that's what I did as well, preparing for festivals, buying. I've been at Monsters of Rock in '88.
Oh, wow.
And I bought from every band that was playing a vinyl.
Wow.
And there was Mötley Crüe.
This is cool.
Yeah, but Mötley Crüe, for instance, Theater of Pain, a bad album, if I may say so. Then David Lee Roth, solo, not that great, as well, the singer in Van Halen.
Yeah.
Great White. So there were a lot of bands that were not worth it. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But people may find out about new bands, 35 years, but they might find out about bands that they had not on their list so far. So it's a great opportunity for a band, even if it's 30, 40, how many years, whatever, is around to gain new people.
That's right.
And
yeah.
for you, and that's why I was talking about festivals. For you, it's as an artist, it's a great chance to get to know new bands as well. And when I say new bands, I mean new bands.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Besides from meeting other bands that you've been touring with, and it's like, for instance, the festival you played, if I remember right, Hildesheim, wie heißt? Mera Luna.
Mera Luna, yeah.
6 years ago?
Yeah, might be.
It must be longer.
Right before COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that must have been a class meeting for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You meet people that you haven't been seen since many years. You meet so many people. Like there we also did this small get-together with Mono Inc. and Joachim Witt. And so this is of course very nice, but I also met on those festivals bands from which I was fans, and sometimes it was very disappointing to meet the people. So I don't say any names now, but sometimes you get it's
That's life.
yeah, well, yeah. Well, as I said, in that moment I'm a fan myself. I of course we do Lacrimosa, we do our music, but I do that because I'm a music fan, and there are so many bands I'm still fan of. And when I get to see them and get to meet them, it's of course wonderful. And finding out that they are not so wonderful people, then it's of course a bit sad. But well, so yeah, as you said, that's right.
Yeah.
I would say we come to the end, or slowly.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this. There's one festival I have in my head where you would fit perfectly, which is the Plage Noire, a festival where people. It's a 5,000 capacity, and they have bungalows around on the festival site, and people go there, stay there for the entire weekend, sleep there, and with the family they bring kids and dogs and everything, and they have their own apartment with their own kitchen and their own bed, and then there's the concerts of the bands. They have 3 stages, and I think this would be something you would fit perfectly, because a lot of your fans they don't want to go to festivals and sleep in the tent.
Yeah.
They have the money, they can afford the whatever it is extra for the bungalow, and that's something very, very nice.
We once played there a couple of years ago, and was one of my favorite experiences of festivals. It was really, really beautiful.
So eine schöne Atmosphäre.
Ja, genau, können wir mal auf Deutsch, genau, das Plage Noire Festival, wunderschönes Festival gewesen. Wir haben dort eben einmal gespielt, und das ist genau für Lacrimosa genau perfekt, weil wie du sagst, das ist alles so ein bisschen gediegener, es ist schön, es ist ein Gothic-Dorf, was dort aufgebaut wird. Wir hatten sogar die Gelegenheit, da selber rumzulaufen, die Leute sind so entspannt, du wirst nicht blöd angemacht oder so. Wir konnten das selber genießen, und das war so ein Eintauchen in so eine Gothic Fairy Tale Welt. Das war
ja, und tolle Stände, wo die Leute handwerkliche Sachen verkaufen, und das ist echt
geile Atmosphäre. Also wenn ihr die Gelegenheit habt, zum Plage Noire mal zu gehen, egal ob Lacrimosa spielen oder nicht.
Ne, wartet auf uns.
Ja, aber ich glaube, so langsam kommen wir mal zum Ende. Wir haben die nächsten Tage noch einiges zu tun mit der Vorbereitung der Shows oder dieser Abende. Und freuen uns natürlich, wenn wir euch dann dort sehen können, weil eben heute Abend schauen wir halt nur in eine Kamera rein. Ich freue mich drauf, wenn wir dann euch wirklich von Angesicht zu Angesicht sehen können, ihr eure Fragen stellen könnt, und wir euch unsere neuen Songs eben präsentieren können, und das in akustischer Form. Wie gesagt, wir spielen auch ein paar Klassiker in akustischer Form. Das werden auf jeden Fall 4 wunderbare Abende, da freuen wir uns drauf. Und dann vielen Dank auch jetzt heute Abend hier fürs Mitmachen. Thank you very much for
joining.
Yeah, for joining and your questions. And so we see each other next time here at Facebook in our shop, or in the next couple of days in unseren 4 Release-Shows.
Wir freuen uns.
Genau.
Bis bald. Ciao.
Ciao.
Adios.